Good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? I am doing well. I was able to hit the button at the right time. I didn't get sidetracked by 15 things. Did want to check one thing, and I forgot to press record, but now I've done that. So we're in good shape today. I left the camera as wide as can be. Why is that? Because I don't know, it's Friday. I'm also not wearing my best outfit, but I'm comfortable. What do we have for today? Well, we have lots of news articles related to real estate. We have we can have lots of discussion. You know, I'm not opposed to making the stream 2 hours in the morning if I can have more people, be a part of it. Right now, it's a little bit dicey with no one as part of the stream and people watching after, I don't know if people are watching the videos late at night saying, look at this guy, or if they just, I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, there are people watching. Sometimes they're just not on the chat. So that's strange. Yesterday, I had my, oh, by the way, this is Friday. It's the 17th of December, 2021. It's my 19th consecutive live stream. How long will I go? I don't know. Sometimes I get sick. Sometimes I don't feel well. Sometimes, like tomorrow live stream chat group, it's going to be tough. I've got to show a house in Tower Grove South at 11. I'll finish the live stream at 10. Need to be dressed. Need to be ready to go by 10:30. So it's going to be tight. Is that going to happen more in the future? Probably. Is it a bad thing? I don't know. I think the key, like for me, going forward is just consistency. It feels good to have like a schedule. Like, this is what I'm going to do now. This is what I'm going to do now, and just go through my day that way. I do enjoy the live stream. I don't know why. I think partly because you're not pressed for time, in the sense you can kind of fully flush out an idea, instead of just, oh my gosh, I got to get this video out. I got 10 minutes. I got to say everything I need to say in 10 minutes, or else it's going to be bad. So I don't know. I had weird questions asked of me this morning that I'm trying to that are flashing through my head. So, I do have a YouTube update for you today. I'm trying to not, get after YouTube as much. Yesterday I had my live stream, and it had a copyright claim on it. And, I've learned on the copyright claim, like, hey, if there's any music playing whatsoever, you're going to get hit with a copyright claim. So don't have any music. But yesterday's was a new one. Yesterday, I got hit for showing licensed video. And I was like, well, I didn't show any licensed video. And what happened was, it turns out that it was set up so that I was reading an article. I had an article on the screen about the #1 overall college football recruit choosing Jackson State. Well, I was on a sports site, and apparently apparently during the site, during just talking, it was mad. And so I went to check it just now. I cut it out. So if you look at yesterday's stream, like later today, it's going to be cut out. And it's going to kind of screw up. But I was talking about when Mizzou had the #1 overall recruit a couple years back, and how that may or may not have, helped us. I think we were in the Big 12, if there is such a thing anymore. I don't know. Everything's changed. Everything's different. I was talking to my mom yesterday, and it's like you see things as a certain time frame, and then that's just kind of the way you think about things. So yeah. Boy, not very talkative today. So what do we got? Let's get to it. So, I like to look at the Google Trends. And oh, before I do that, I did want to say that, you know, Odyssey and I are not fighting. We're just trying to kind of learn from each other. So I stream everything. Well, I put all the podcasts on Odyssey right now. I would like to put this live streams on there. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the spam comment from somebody writing in Cyrillic. Thank you. Thank you. I had wanted something in spam for quite some time. And you know what? I couldn't even get a spammer to write anything in the chat. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I hope that whatever spam you've done, that makes you happy. And I hope maybe you're a bot. I don't know. Great. So that's our first spam for the day. How many minutes are we in? 5 minutes in? Oh, great. Great. Hopefully we'll get some more. I could put the stream to subscribers only, can comment, but really, anyway. So Odyssey and I, we're having a few problems. They have some software glitches. And I say that to be nice. I'm not criticizing. They got some glitches. And so yesterday they're like, we will sync all of your YouTube videos for you. So I went through the process, waited a couple hours, then I got an email that says, well, you don't meet our requirements. Okay, thanks. So then they said, well, you can stream directly to our platform. And then I went and redid the settings for that, and doesn't look good. Doesn't look like I'll be streaming there because I put in my little, they said, do this and do that, and then you can stream, and I did it, and then I can't stream. I don't know. Their playback on their videos, I have to reformat everything I do for Odyssey, but the playback is sharp. I really like the way it looks. I like the product. I want it to do better. I'm not as committed. I was doing locals, and then it got with Rumble, and then now it's going to do something with Trump, and no one's giving me $5 a month right now. My content's not worth it apparently. So there's no point to being on locals. And I, as a person who watches YouTube, YouTube memberships and stuff like that, I don't want you to be a member of my channel. Be a subscriber. That would help. Watch my videos. That would help. But you don't have to be a member. That's just, it's kind of weird. And the reason why I was saying that is I am trying to be a real estate agent and stream and do videos. Okay. And so, that kind of puts me in a little space where I can't do certain things that I'd like to, at least by myself. So, would I like to do more editing? Yes. Would I like to be on more platforms? Probably, but I don't want to get to this. I don't have the ability to do members only chats. And that many people in the first place. And I don't have members only previews because I shoot a video, I shoot a live stream, and it's done. We move on. If I get sick, like I said, or if I have to go somewhere, we're not going to have a video that day. We're probably not going to have a live stream at the same time. Now, it's sad because I would like to. Here, I don't know if this will work. Let me see I want to just see if I hit the wrong. Now I stopped recording. Let me see if I can do something real quick just to see. Well, I don't want to do that. I could go to YouTube and mess with but I'm not going to. But anyway, I don't want to do all that stuff. If it's that day, I'll shoot it, and if it's not that day, then it's over. It's not going to happen. And I'm sorry. It's the life of somebody that's not just a content creative, but somebody that's got to actually go do stuff. I wanted to practice my elevator speech. I haven't done it in a while. I say, my name is John Schenk. I'm the founder and managing broker of Deerwood Realty in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small real estate agency. We concentrate mainly on residential, but we do some commercial when it comes up from time to time. I commentate on real estate news here on YouTube. But not only on YouTube, I also commentate on Odyssey. Just depends on where you like to get your information. That's who I am. I would like if you subscribed. It'd make me happy. I'd like if you watched my videos. If Should you click the notification bell? I mean, if you want to. But does it matter to me? Not really. Not really. Just having people around to chat to is good for me. So that's who I am. That's what I do. And now let's get into the article. So Google Trends today, kind of a scary thing. Biggest news was Kansas City beat some team, and that was the biggest news. Oh, I don't want to do that today. I don't want to do it that way. So let's get over to the screen share. Here we go. Let's go over this article here. I didn't want to do the Kansas City thing because it's like NFL and I are not friends. So it says school in the U.S. taking precautions over disturbing TikTok threat for December 17th. I'm scared. Okay, so here's how I would like to say I learn about information in 2021 and how it's different than it used to be. Number one, yesterday on Facebook around 5, one of my more odd Facebook friends posted, so who's sending their kid to school tomorrow? And so I didn't think anything of it other than, she needs to just send her kids to school all the time because she's kind of crazy. And maybe they won't be as crazy. But anyway, I didn't know anything about it. Now, at my kid's school, maybe a couple days ago, there was a gun threat on social media, and they investigated it, and they said there's no gun threat. But, I mean, pretty much at least once a week now, we have some sort of drama at school. So I got that, and then I got a email from the school district around 6 o'clock. At least that's when I checked my email. It said, talk to your kids about social media. There's things that are just being dumb. And so if it were up to me, and it's not, I would ban social media until you're 18. It really ruins your brain. And think about the world we live in now. Your 12 or 13-year-old obviously is going to make errors. Okay, they're obviously going to make mistakes because they're growing up and they're learning how to be in a society. And then if they do something wrong, okay, like at school, I mean, we're going to get thousands of people will be impacted if they do just one thing that's wrong on social media. And in this case, maybe millions, but we're all inconvenienced, and you say, well, I'm sorry that you're inconvenienced, that there's a legitimate threat in school. But the point is, the child should be punished for the mistake or the error. But, these get to be federal crimes, what they're doing, and not, maybe they don't know it or maybe they don't care, but your whole life to be impacted, and it's like at 12 or 13 for posting something online, when in my generation, we couldn't have posted anything online because there was no online. It just seems wrong. And so that's why I say ban it all. I will say, I will go back, and when one of the kids was growing up around age 10, she did not have a phone, and we wanted her to have a phone for, like, if we needed to call her, if we needed to know where she was or something like that for communications. So we were going to buy a flip phone, and then somebody else bought her a smartphone, and it just made me ill, because from that point on, for like the next year and a half or two, it just went downhill. The behavior just went downhill, and it was 100% because of the phone. Same thing with the other kid, 10 years old, got a phone. Attitude just goes to shit 2 years later. It's just unbelievable. So I'm all for banning social media until you're 18. I mean, what more information do we need? I mean, we're getting these reports constantly about how social media rots your brain. I mean, how many more reports do we need before we do something? We take action. Anyway. So it says, schools in the U.S. taking precautions over disturbing TikTok threats. So on TikTok, I have TikTok. I have some funny things. You should look it up. It's fun. I don't mind TikTok. I don't care that it's owned by the Chinese government or was owned by the Chinese government. I care that it's pretty harmful to children. It is true. I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty disgusting, some of the stuff on there. But here we go. It says a number of school districts around the country are responding to an anonymous threat on TikTok that seemingly warns against students attending class on Friday. The threat, or challenge as some to refer to it, reportedly calls on students to commit acts of violence on December 17th. According to Syracuse.com, the threat labeled December 17th National Shoot Up Your School Day and does not name a specific school or district. So it says, while people was not able to identify the TikTok post where the threat originated, there are now hundreds of other TikTok posts referencing the challenge and warning students to take precautions. So, now we got a mess. Hundreds of other TikTok posts referencing the challenge. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently there's a threat on December 17th. Somebody wrote, I don't know if it's true, but if it is, stay safe. My mom called and told me, so I looked it up, Stay Safe America. So now there's this warped there's this warped view of reality where we've got, in the digital world, there's a warning for something that's going to happen in the physical world. Okay? And those two worlds have different rules. And then, so like you read this one, it says, add another, I'm scared off my blank. What do I do? Well, first of all, get off TikTok. Second of all, stop being dramatic. Third, just stop. Just stop. And it says in a statement, TikTok says it has not found evidence of the threat despite the alarming posts that have since gone viral. We handle even rumored threats with the utmost seriousness, which is why we're working with law enforcement to look into warnings about potential violence at schools, even though we have not found evidence of such threats originating or spreading via TikTok. So here's the bizarre thing. So they know everything that's posted on their platform, but they can't find the post that said that there was going to be violence. The first one. The warnings reference the threat has been enough to elicit a response from school districts and law enforcement. Well, that's true. And they're stuck in a spot where, look, they'd rather be teaching the kids, I'm sure. But now we got to stop and we got to talk about how this is bad and we don't, because what if they don't prepare? It's ridiculous. Then it says, due to an uptake, then this was a Naugatuck police statement. It says, due to an uptake in unrelated threats at schools in the region, the police will be increasing our presence in patrols in the next coming days. While there's been no threat against these schools specifically, students or staff, the public can anticipate our presence to increase the community's sense of safety during the coming school days. And then, see, that's the issue. These are terrible acts, okay? The people that commit school shootings are terrible people, and I don't care if they're kids or not. They're terrible. They're disgusting, and I hate all of them. I don't care. I don't care if they're troubled. I don't care. You killed a bunch of kids. Burn in hell. That's where I'm at. But what the media does or has done over the years is amplify all these people and almost turn them into heroes. If they didn't say their names, if they never used their names, I bet you it would stop. And I bet you if we wouldn't have this, we wouldn't be in this situation where you had a shooting 3 weeks ago and now everybody talks about it. But I wanted to go over this I wanted to take this in a different direction, and that's in the censorship. You're not supposed to use the words slippery slope, but I did want to look at it like this, okay? I don't think anybody on YouTube, let's just look at YouTube. I don't think that anybody on YouTube says that it's a good idea to have child pornography. I don't think that's good. I don't think it should be on YouTube. I don't think it should be anywhere. I don't think we should have threatening remarks or calls for violence. I don't think we should have that on YouTube. I'm okay with that censorship. I'm not even into I don't want to have, I don't want to see people get shot or killed on the platform. I find it disturbing. So in this way, there's no question that YouTube is censoring, and there's no question that they're doing the right thing. It's just when it gets weird, when you start censoring things that aren't those things that I mentioned. Political speech. they say medical misinformation, but you know, if you look at the whole ball of wax, there's a lot of misinformation being distributed by everyone, almost to the, you know, point where you should probably just stop with that one. But anyway, that's where it's, or coordinated attempts to deplatform an individual because their views are different than that of the big tech oligarchs. I'm not for that. But in this case, with TikTok, what do you mean you can't find the person that did the original post? Doesn't make any sense. This is definitely one of those cases where I'm for censorship. Don't let this stuff spread. Don't have it go viral. Just stop. Other platforms are advertising free speech. I don't think some of this stuff should be out there. If you want a large mass of users now, like the dark web and all that stuff, fine, whatever. I'm not interested in that. But I'm saying on these large platforms, there is censorship. It is okay, in my opinion. Sometimes it gets a little out of hand, and this is one of those cases where I would like even more. I would like this stuff locked down immediately. Because now what you're doing is you're giving people across the country and across the world ideas that they didn't otherwise have, and not good ones. Interesting question. Should we live in fear? Well, we do live in fear, and people are pushing fear on us all the time. We also use safety as a weapon. We use safety to say that we can get rid of laws we don't like, get rid of things we don't like because we feel threatened. But anyway, in this case, I'm really kind of irritated by the whole social media situation. Let's put it that way. Moving on. Let's go to Wichita, Kansas. Has anybody been to Wichita, Kansas before? I got my dog in Wichita, Kansas once. His name was Taco. I renamed him Zeus. I thought Taco was not who he was. Anyway, can we see this? I'm just checking to see. So we got Coldwell Banker, we got J.P. Wiegand & Sons, and J.P. Wiegand & Sons, and Platinum Realty, and Coldwell Banker, Plaza Estate, East Central, and Wiegand & Sons, and Reese and Nichols. So, you know, they're controlling the top listings. I thought this was interesting. This is a $3 million, what looks to be a church. I wanted you to see it. So the detail says commercial or residential. This is one of a kind of opportunity to own a piece of unique Wichita history. This was a church that's been completely redesigned and rebuilt inside and out. Massive woodwork throughout. Original European stained glass. Massive second floor master suite features fireplace, separate sitting area, and walk-in closets. All the baths feature overscaled walk-in showers, and the ladies' bath features an antique-inspired clawfoot bathtub. This home features 2 separate kitchens with high-grade appliances, double ovens, and abundance of built-ins. The theater equipment is better quality than most theaters. It features a 2,600-foot viewing area with a 12:9 screen and a 15,000 lumen projector. There's an additional 50 by 50 lot with this property. See attached notes for all building materials. You must see this home to appreciate the beauty of and history it offers. So $3 million for an old church. I mean, there it is. There's your theater. I don't understand why you would list a $3 million house and have pictures like this show up. It's sad. There's a kitchen. And this isn't helping me. So I just don't know where you would get a valuation for the church. I mean, you got 10,000 square feet, 2 beds, 3 baths on a 0.29 acre lot. I mean, here's the entrance. You can see down into the, you know, that's not the church part. I mean, $3 million, and there we go. Now I get a good picture. Kitchen's kind of small, to be honest. It's just it's an odd thing. Now, I've often thought about buying a church, tearing it down, and putting in a development on the property. I always thought that was good because churches are dying. Am I happy that churches are dying? Nope. But they are. That's the reality. So anyway, that was an odd one. I just wanted you to see it. So let's look at this one here. $2,990,000. So 2.9 million. Been on the market 107 days. By the way, that other house was on the market for like 1,000 days. So it's a tough property to sell, tough to move. 6 bedrooms, 7.5 baths, 10,000 square feet with a 3-car garage. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's nice. I'll say it's nice. Interesting ceiling. I kind of thought that was the basement, but then there's a window here. So almost 10,000 square feet though. That's kind of nice. Theater room, like that's a theater room. This is your laundry. That laundry is better than some people's kitchens. Oh, nice pool and a little outside area. That's one thing that I feel like even in the Midwest, it'd be nice to have an outdoor space, you know, as part of the property, as part of the, you know, part of the landscape. We just don't have anything like that where I'm living. In a lot of the houses I show, that there's not this, like, see how there's this built-in area. I mean, we have a patio, but it's not like that. So that's a nice house. Been on the market 107 days. I don't know. What do you think? You buying that house? Let's look at this one. This is both listed by the same company. Different zip codes. This is a larger house on a larger lot for $800,000 less, but it doesn't have as many baths or bedrooms. Been on the market 320 days. So, I mean, again, 4-car garage. It's interesting to me. You're showing the fourth picture. I'm sorry. Here we go. We're walking in. So what's the first picture? It's us looking back at the door. Whereas I would have preferred to see the front. And now we don't get a straight view. We end up with this staircase. This is on a $2 million property. I haven't listed anything for $2 million. Maybe I don't know anything, but I would just always set up the pictures so that I'm walking through the space. That's nice. A lot going on, though. A lot going on. Nice kitchen. Nice little dining room setup. I say little, I mean, you know. It's not little. There's 12 chairs there. Wood paneling. See, we were told that wood paneling's out, and you know it's 328 days. Maybe it is, but I think it looks nice. I mean, that's a solid bedroom. There's your closet. We know no one lives here because there's no thing in the closet. I mean, it's a sharp house. I'd like a little bigger pool. I don't know if that makes me a bad person. Nice house. I don't know if this is like a little lake or a pond or something there, but just nice. Just nice. Would you pay 9 million or 900,000 more for that house over that house? Just from the pictures? And so like here, I mean, if you just look at stuff, 62706 is in the same zip code as this one. 1.9 million, 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 7,450 square feet on a 0.86 acre lot. And then you've got this one right next to it, 1.6 million, 4 bedrooms, 7.5 baths, 9,000 square feet on a 1.8 acre lot. Which one would you want? That one's got a basketball court. There's all kinds of houses around it. What we got here? I don't know. This one here is right on the water. Let's look at this. Okay. Oh, sorry. I hate when I do that. This. So, been on the market 14 days. $1.2 million. I mean, there is a house next to it. This is terrible landscaping. This looks dated. I mean, this isn't to the level of those other houses we were looking at as far as the way the house is built, the features. When was this built? 1995. It's so dated, but it shouldn't be. And these decks, I love the decks, but they take a lot of maintenance. I mean, it's right on the water, so I get it. I don't even know what that is. I don't know. We know that the average house is like 400,000. So what is let's see what 400,000 gets you in Wichita. That's new construction. That's new construction. That's new construction. Here's one house. 3-car garage, 3,700 square feet, which is a lot. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Been on the market 17 days. 3-car garage. I got a flat roof. You don't see that very often. Nice kitchen. These are, I mean, this is the kind of stuff you should expect in those $1 million homes. Interesting fan with 2 blades. This here is irritating. Come on. You got a beautiful setting here, and now you've done this. This looks like something that I would have. I mean, my desk would be that messed up. A little bit dated. Interesting. I'm just gonna say this, like a shower. Like I get nervous with glass doors in a shower. I don't know if it's because I'm a bigger fellow, and I'm not that big, but I just get nervous about the glass, even if it's safety glass and thick and not gonna be an issue. I mean, now you put a bar there, a 2-seat bar. The colors are a bit much, and then we've got the ceiling that's, I don't like those ceilings. What does this add to the listing? Why? Why? Again. I don't know. I just feel like I can do better listing than that. Does that make me, oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure I'm sure that's spam too, because, you know, it is, but thank you for that. So now I've got 2 spam comments. I'll take the spam comments. I'll tell you what, if anybody just, you know, anybody wants to chat at all, I'm good with. Anyway, so that's the listings for today. Let's get into some articles. I'm not trying to stir anything with the articles. Sometimes I think that the articles are written to stir people up, but I'm not. I just wanted to go over it and see where we're at. So the first article today is single women buyers outpace men, but not without sacrifices. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. When men buy houses, do they not make sacrifices? I don't know. I just don't even know where to start. So we'll read it. It says, of late, there have been questions around two statistics surrounding women purchasing homes. Why women are more likely to buy homes and how their financials compare to single men buying homes. The answers are worth looking into. I don't know if they are or not. It says, women have been second only to married couples in the home buying market since the National Association of Realtors started data collection on the topic in 1981. What is striking about the statistic is it wasn't until 1974 that women were legally protected to obtain a mortgage without a cosigner. I did not know that. Prior to the passage of the Fair Housing Act's prohibitions against sex discrimination and housing-related transactions and the protections of the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, it was commonplace for a widow to need a male relative as a cosigner. Women had no legal recourse under federal law for this or any other kind of lending discrimination. So I don't know. I wasn't born in 1974. It's 2021, and I have no idea if that was true or not. In 1981, 73% of home buyers were married couples, 11% were single women, and 10% were single men. Today, those shares stand at 60% married couples, 19% single women, and 9% single men. The highest share of... Now, does anybody talk about why single men home ownership is down? Like, should that be an issue? The highest share of single women buyers was in 2006 when the share stood at 22%. After 2006, the share of single women buyers dropped incrementally to a recent low 15% in 2015. Since 2015, the share of single women has risen to a record high of 19%. A recent high, not record. In 2010, the share of single men rose to a high of 12%, but has stayed in recent years between 7 and 9% of buyers. So what is this about? What is this about? In recent years, an easy explanation for the rise in single women buyers was the drop in the share of Americans who are married. In 1990, 59% of the American public was married, and today just 52% of the U.S. is married. Comparing the two charts of recent home buyers compared to the overall population, the trend mirrors one another. Okay, I'll take that. But then why are women buying homes and men are not? For that answer, it's best to turn to who is buying and the composition of their household. Both men and women are most likely to say they are purchasing for the desire to own a home of their own, but then double the share of women purchase to be close to friends and family. When collecting data on whether or not buyer is single now, a data point not collected is if the buyer was once married and is now widowed or divorced. But in both scenarios, the proximity to friends and family may be important to women. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know it would be more important than, like, I'll have young buyers want to live close to their friends, women and men. I live close to my family. I was a single man that purchased a house at one point in time. Looking at the composition of household also helps tell the story. Single women buyers are more likely to purchase a home with a child under the age of 18 and are more likely to purchase a multi-generational home. These family obligations make purchasing a home more attractive to a single woman buyer as she has the need for stable housing on a continual basis. Second major question posed is finances. Women home buyers typically purchase a home at a household income of $65,000 compared to single men at $78,000. While male incomes do not match that of married couples or unmarried couples, their higher incomes do allow them more buying power than single women buyers. Well, then why aren't they buying more houses? Given the financial pressures of women within the home and their lower household income, women do make more financial sacrifices when purchasing. 42% of women make financial sacrifices compared to 32% of men who purchase homes. Common financial sacrifices include cutting spending on non-essential goods, entertainment, clothing, and canceling vacation plans. How warped do you have to be as a human being that says you're making sacrifices by not going on a vacation? You're making a sacrifice. How warped do you have to be to say that you're making a sacrifice because you're not buying a bunch of clothes? These sacrifices only underscore how important homeownership is to women, as these sacrifices outpace all of those of male buyers. Because a male isn't going to say, they're not going to say they sacrificed anything. That's not in their logic. These sacrifices may up and happen over a number of years. According to all buyers, single women are 51 compared to single men at 45. First-time home buyers are 34% to 31 compared to men at 31. I mean, iffy. When women do purchase homes, they're likely to purchase homes that are at a lower price point than single men buyers do. Men typically purchase homes that were $249,000 last year compared to women who purchased homes that were $230,000. While the price difference may not be a game changer for some, for many in an environment where home prices are experiencing double-digit year-over-year home price gains, while also experiencing historically low inventory, finding an affordable property for oneself and possible depends could be arduous, but women are out there and are successful making home purchases. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. It's hard to buy a house right now. And I don't care that men are buying more expensive houses than women on an average across the United States. This difference between 230 and 250, let's just say, in the marketplace is nil. And then the article ends. I don't know. What do you think? To me, it seems like somebody needs something to write about. I mean, there's other articles I'd be more interested in. One I'd be more interested in is home ownership, affordability versus expenses incurred. So, like, everything that I have in my house has gone up in price. It's not just, it's inflation basically, but it costs more to heat my home. Well, why does it cost more to heat my home? Well, we couldn't do coal because that's bad for the environment. And we couldn't do nuclear because people are afraid of nuclear. So we have to do windmills. So I have to pay for people to build windmills so I can have electricity. It's like, great. I would have just taken the coal. I'm going to die. And they said, what about your children's children? Well, at age 35, I had no children. I was going to die alone. And if that's dark, I was there. So anyway, I would like to see something like that. I do not like to see anything at this point in time that separates women and men, people of color, any color, from the rest of the population. I think that marginalizes everyone, and I don't want to. I want people to be able to move around in a society that's free and fair, and even though there's many aspects that aren't, we're still in pretty good shape. I'd say the last couple of years have been rough, but I don't know. I just think about the normal home buying experience. So let's just say a single woman has a job at age 27, has a good job, has good income, and goes and gets a house. Okay. And it's a nice house. And let's say that a 27-year-old man has a job, goes and buys a nice house, or he buys an apartment. Either way. Or buys an apartment, rents an apartment, but it's a nice apartment. Let's say they meet and they decide to get married at age 35. Did it matter that the single woman bought a house at 27 and the single male rented an apartment? Does it matter if he bought a house and now they have to sell one house? Okay. Which house will they sell? Will they sell the better house? Probably not. Will they sell both houses and buy a home of their own? Maybe. When they do decide to buy a different home, will they be sacrificing a vacation? It's really tough to say that you sacrificed by not taking a vacation. I mean, really tough. There are people that can't afford food in the United States. There's the working poor. This isn't that case. So anyway, I read the article. You can have your own opinions. Put it in the chat. Tell me what you think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Then we go to another article on the National Association of Realtors. I love the fact that they have news, and I love the fact that it can be disseminated amongst the real estate world. Well, let's look at this one. It says, Realtors 2022 president testifies before House Committee on Veterans Affairs on removing barriers to veteran home ownership. So, Ruta Smith, that's the president, is apparently. Wait a minute. Oh, she doesn't go by Leslie. I don't know. Anyway, tells the House panel greater flexibility is needed to make VA borrowers more competitive. Are VA borrowers competitive in the market? I don't have a problem with a VA borrower. If I'm listing a home and there's 15 offers and the VA one is the largest, all right. So it says the Ruta Smith has been a realtor for 36 years, spoke to the National Association of Realtors' efforts to improve the home buying process for veterans and service members, and offered policy recommendations to help more veterans achieve the American dream. 12% of our members are veterans or have a spouse, and that's 180 strong. Our veterans and service members face unique challenges when purchasing a home, especially in a hot market. Now, everyone right now is having problems in this market, okay? She highlighted the importance of strengthening the VA loan guarantee program, citing its benefit for borrowers and its role in closing the racial home ownership gap. I didn't need that. If you're a veteran, I don't need to hear about race. You're a veteran. That's all we need. VA loan delinquency rates are lower than FHA loans and comparable to conventional loans. With more than 90% of veterans choosing a no down payment option, this program shows that prudent underwriting and servicing is key. Then we go into race. 16% of Black Americans received financing through the VA in 2018 compared to only 9% of white Americans. Clearly, hurdles faced by VA borrowers will disproportionately impact home buyers of color. And unfortunately, many elements of the VA loan program meant to protect veterans and service members are instead keeping them on the sidelines in today's housing market. So I don't agree with that, but whatever. She went on to outline some solutions, and so let's look at those. The first is to provide greater flexibility to make VA loan borrowers more competitive, noting that one of the VA program's most significant disadvantages had been the limitations on fees. Okay, the second solution, I don't know what the limitations are on fees. The second solution is to oppose any increase in funding fees to offset costs associated with non-housing related expenditures. Again, I have no idea. The third is to ensure veterans and service members understand the advantage of a VA loan through a more robust marketing of the program. The final solution, never want to go with the final solution, in my opinion. Doesn't come across very well. Offered is improving the home renovation rehabilitation program. The overarching theme in our policy solutions is to offer every veteran the opportunity to build wealth through home ownership. We look forward to working with the subcommittee to advance these efforts, along with NAR representative Art State Association. I don't know. I can't even go through this because I don't even understand it. Limitation of fees. I honestly, let me tell you how it works in my world. So someone calls me. Hey, John, I want to go buy a house. Okay. How are you going to finance it? Well, I think I'm going to use my VA benefit. Okay. Do you have a mortgage lender? No. You want me to give you the names of a few guys that I've used or a few gals that I've used in the past? That'd be great. So then they call one of those guys. Say, I want to use my my VA benefit. And the mortgage lender says, okay. We have one little slight problem with, say they already have a house on their VA loan. Okay, they've already purchased a house and they want to purchase another. That can be a little tough. And I would say for that, we should remove that barrier. You're only allowed one credit or whatever. So like when you're buying a new house, you should be able to use the credit to buy a new house, but it's a little bit more dicey than that. This is what I know, which isn't much. I expect the National Association of Realtors to advocate for people buying more houses all the time, greater accessibility. I think that when you look at certain things, for instance, home ownership affordability, I think that the solutions that have been proposed over time are maybe even hurting the affordability crisis. I think that's true. Now you say, in what ways do you think that's true? Well, I think that when you tell a developer that it's okay to build, let's say they're going to build 100 units, 100 homes, okay? But 4% of them have to be considered low-income housing or something, or affordable housing. I got 4 houses that don't look like any of the others because they didn't spend as much money on it. It doesn't seem like people build subdivisions for different price ranges anymore. So, like, if you go to a neighborhood, it's built for houses are built in the $400,000 price range, or they're at the $700,000 price range. But there's never anything for $200,000. Well, why is that? Well, because if you were a developer, you were a home builder, which would you rather build? Where's your best chance to make the most amount of money? That's what you're going to do. It's not bad. It's not good. It just is. So on the VA thing, I'm glad she testified. I'm glad that, I mean, I don't know. If anybody doesn't know that a VA loan's pretty sweet, I mean, that's on them. All right, we're going to move on. Next article, will the housing market continue its hot streak in 2022? 3 predictions on the strength of the 2022 housing market. Okay, I do not trust anything. I do not know anything in the future. I'm not good at preparing for a future. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just would point out that I didn't know there would be a global pandemic in 2020 that would do what it did. And, you know, we can't predict these things. I like to say I think the housing market's going to, slow down. If the housing market ever does slow down, I don't know that I'm happy about that because people are going to be hurt, and I don't want anybody to be hurt. Maybe it's a fact of life. I don't know. Let's get into it. It says, as we approach the end of another hot year in the market, home buyers and sellers are eagerly looking ahead to 2022 housing market. Will the market continue its streak of strong growth, or are we finally about to see a slowdown? I don't know. It says demand will continue to be strong. The first thing we look at is the days on market. How fast are homes moving? Right now, we're seeing a median of 49 days on the market and climbing, as it normally does this time of year. Typical December, we'll see market time at 85 to 100 days. So you can see from the chart, the demand is staying elevated later in the year, which is a bullish sign for next year. I don't particularly care. What if those buyers are people that couldn't buy in here because they were getting outbid? What if they find houses now and not in the future? Due to strong seasonal patterns, I predict days on market will hit a low of 21 days in April, tying the record fast market times from earlier in the year. This is a good article because he talks about what he's thinking. Low inventory will continue to be a major issue. I really do think that's an issue that's a problem. It's NIMBYism, not in my backyard. I think that what should be done with it, there should be some sort of uniform development process that is fast. I mean, you should have to notify everyone involved in the decision. So like if it's close to another neighborhood or something, you should be able to have that conference and then get to a decision and go from it. Home prices will remain high in 2022. Everything seems to be more expensive. It says the median home price for a single family home this week is $375,000, which is 10% higher than last year, and where we are likely to end the year. As we look forward to 2022, all the leading indicators show tight inventory and strong demand, keeping prices high, a strong seller's market. If interest rates start rising, and we've had the Fed say that they're going to make 3 changes at least, I believe, and we're seeing inflation or other economic challenges, which we are, this could have a cooling effect on the market. These variables aren't in the data yet, but they're looming. We'll want to be watching the data closely to spot any major shifts. But let's end on this article, but let's take this down to you. What does this mean for you? I mean, isn't that the most important thing in your life? You? I like my life. It's important to me. So, should you buy a house now? Or should you wait? I think you should buy a house now. You say, well, what does that mean? Well, look, you're not going to go out and buy a house tomorrow. It's not going to happen. You have to start the process. You have to get a pre-approval. You have to learn the neighborhoods. You have to see where pricing is. In my opinion, you want to be an informed buyer, an informed buyer. And then you want to look and you want to find that house that makes sense for whatever reason. Maybe you want to fix it up and it's not priced too high. Maybe you think it's perfect and it's just move-in ready. All you have to do is put your furniture in and you're good to go. Maybe it's in a neighborhood you like. Maybe it's in a school district you like. But it's a place where you can go right now and buy a house. Now, that house isn't available. What's more than likely to happen is you're going to bid on 4 houses. You're not going to get any of them. You're going to be depressed, and then you're going to settle. It's not good. It's not how I would do it. What's funny to me is it's my job to go look at houses with people. And when they lose out on an offer, we just go look at another house. But the buyers are crushed. I don't get crushed because I know there's going to be another house for them somewhere. So anyway, you start the process. We're in December. You may not find a house until March, April, if you're lucky. I've got a buyer that I've been working with for 2 years. Pretty much every other weekend we go look at houses. It's not enough. It's not intense enough, but it is what it is. Let's say you buy this house. You finally find the house. Yay. Okay. And you put down roots and you're good. Okay. What do you care if the house goes down in value, like the next year or the year after that? If you're staying there for a decade or an unknown amount of time, 20 years or something, what do you care? You shouldn't even be paying attention to the market. It doesn't make any difference. You're not selling. It's where we get in this what I would say real troublesome situation of there's no, like things happen faster now. We don't have a job for 50 years. Okay. So if we have to move because of work in like 2 years, now we got a problem because house prices went down. But that's an unforeseen situation in the sense that you have no idea that it was going to happen or when. So you go buy a house when it's time to buy a house. Let's say you're getting married and you want to live with your wife in a new house. Then buy a house. Don't worry about the market. Don't worry about anything. I wouldn't say that about cars. Right now we're looking at cars for my wife. We're looking, but we're not buying because car prices are like 50% higher than they were last year or at the beginning of the year. And I know this because we bought a car at the beginning of the year for my daughter. Can't buy a car. You say, well, how are the two different? Well, cars go to zero over time. Cars go to zero. You buy a car, $20,000, it's worth zero at some point. Maybe not to you. Maybe you can sell it before it goes to zero. Then you're buying another car. Houses don't go to zero. I mean, not very often. They'll go down in price. They'll fluctuate, but they don't go to zero. That's the big difference in my decision process. And that's what I would say to other people. Buy a house, it's not going to zero. You may lose some money, but you'll be okay. Buy a car right now during the hottest, most tight auto market I've ever seen. You get really, really hurt. I mean, we're just sitting there waiting. The car is old and it's going to fall apart. And until it does, we're not going to be forced into a decision. But, I look at things. So in 2007, the housing market was booming. Everything was going to go great. And by end of 2008, everyone was miserable. There were foreclosures everywhere. It happened on a massive scale. And, just being a part of that market, I remember that people were just walking away from homes because they didn't want to make the payments. It had nothing to do with like their enjoyment of the home. They just felt that they were getting screwed somehow. And people rushed in to fix the problem. But let's just say you wanted to buy then. I had some buyers, and we would make offers, and we wouldn't get the house. Those houses are probably worth 30 to 40% more now, from 2009 to now. There's a reason why many large corporations are trying to get into the housing game from the perspective of investment. Okay. I mean, they've seen what happens. They've seen that people over time don't get hurt too bad if they've held the home long enough. So these companies are like, hey, we'll just hold houses. It seems to be pretty safe. Can't blame them. I mean, I don't like the practice. I think it's terrible that we have corporate housing in the United States. I can't stand it. But I know that it's happening. And so anyway, that's kind of what I have. If you need to buy a house now, buy a house. Don't worry about if the market changes, okay? And then on the other hand, if you are in a house and they say the market's going to go down, don't worry about it. Don't worry. You're in the house. You don't have to leave. Your job isn't affected. You're going to be okay. Hold it. Just write it out. Write it out. Don't be worried. Don't be scared. Houses don't go to zero. This is my thought. So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that houses in Wichita, Kansas, the high ones, $2 million range. The expensive houses, $2 million range. We learned that, what did we learn in Google search? Oh, the TikTok has got a problem with the, TikTok's kind of got a problem with the way they need to censor some things. We learned that. We learned that women apparently weren't able to sign as a single payer on a mortgage until 1973. I don't know about that one. I mean, I don't know if that's true. I wasn't around. And then we learned that the National Association wants to help with VA loans. But, for me, I explained to you that I think that the voucher is the most important thing that's holding up the purchases. When one of your solutions is more marketing to veterans, and that doesn't make any sense. What was our last article? Oh, the housing market is supposed to improve or stay strong in 2022. May. So that's what I have. Enjoy it. I mean, you've got the rest of the day to go out there and do whatever it is you do. I'm going to go kind of work on houses and whatnot. Home sales. I got to talk to some buyers. I got to talk to some sellers and some clients, and that's what we're going to do. Thank you for watching. I will see